Now, your news forecast first.
Good evening, Siouxland. Our widespread rain is becoming a little bit more scattered, but notice what's happening around Yankton. We're changing over to snow. Could there be accumulation? Possibly, but it's going to be fairly minor, I think. Temperatures around the area are still above freezing from Yankton to Sioux Falls, so the deck is stacked against any meaningful accumulation tonight. 40, the temperature in Sioux City here at 10 o'clock. The planner for tonight shows the possibility of a light rain-snow mix, but again, with a 2 a.m. temperature of 36, too warm for any accumulating snow. 36 degrees at 6 and at 10, 37 degrees, drying out, still cloudy. Well, the Thanksgiving Day forecast is in sight. We'll tell you what to expect then, plus another system early next week. That's all in the 7-day forecast. Coming up, it's time for your news.
Now, on ABC 9 News.
Are they being screened well enough? You know, it's not just here, I mean everywhere.
A fatal Tennessee bus accident hits too close to home. The local connection that has South Sioux City parents asking about safety.
The airport was just packed.
Departures at Sioux Gateway are up, and so are the numbers of people traveling this Thanksgiving holiday.
Steam it up, put it in a food processor or blender.
A healthy Thanksgiving Day dinner isn't as hard to serve up as you might think.
Live with local news that matters from KCAU-TV in Sioux City, Iowa. This is ABC 9 News at 10.
And good evening. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Tim Seaman.
And I'm Jenna Renstrom. The driver of a Tennessee school bus that crashed, killing 5 students, is in jail tonight, charged with vehicular homicide. Turns out the school system in Chattanooga shares something in common with South Sioux City schools.
9 Investigates has learned that both districts use the same outside company to operate their school buses and provide drivers. We've also uncovered a questionable safety record for that company.
In that Tennessee crash, authorities say tonight the bus driver was speeding. The affidavit for the arrest of bus driver Jonathan Walker quotes witnesses as saying that the 24-year-old bus driver was going well above the posted 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. A man who saw the whole thing describes the scene as horrific.
Just a horror story. It's just totally tragic scene, and we saw the children, some of them, escaping through the roof hatch.
It's so sad, you know. There's no words. I have no words.
How do you explain something like this?
You can't explain nothing like this.
Tonight, a vigil was held in Chattanooga for the 5 students who died on that bus. Hundreds of people from the community coming together to honor those young lives lost. And as we mentioned moments ago, 9 Investigates discovered that a company known as Durham School Services operated the bus and employed the driver in that tragic crash.
They also run the buses and hire the drivers that take hundreds of kids to school each day in South Sioux City's district. KCAU 9's Bria Bell joins us now with a look at what 9 Investigates uncovered about Durham's safety record, as well as reaction from South Sioux parents.
Tim and Jenna, Durham School Services has a satisfactory safety rating from federal regulators, but they have more problems than their peers when it comes to driver fitness. According to records examined by 9 Investigates, I spoke with South Sioux parents tonight at a school play and at a Cardinals basketball game. They were surprised to find out the same bus company tied to that deadly crash also carries their children to school daily. Durham School Services may be in hot water after a deadly school bus crash in Tennessee. 9 Investigates has learned that company has more than 13,000 buses and an equal number of drivers nationwide, including dozens right here that serve the South Sioux City schools. Some parents say their kids' safety has never been a concern until now.
I've never really thought about it. Are they being screened well enough? You know, it's not just here, I mean everywhere.
Federal transportation safety records reviewed by 9 Investigates shows over the past 2 years, Durham's bus drivers have been involved in 142 crashes across the country. 3 of those were fatal crashes prior to the Tennessee case. In at least 8 of those crashes, the bus drivers were cited. And in 7 of the 8, those drivers should not have been on the roads because they were not properly licensed. Those statistics may be alarming, but some South Sioux parents believe they have nothing to worry about.
The bus system is safe. I've never had to deal with it, I guess. My kids don't ride the bus unless they're going to a school function, but I think they probably do a good job of screening the bus drivers. I've had no concerns.
I'm lucky my daughter is now driving on her own, and I just pray for the people that just recently lost their children.
9 Investigates reached out to South Sioux schools for comment. The superintendent is out of town and unavailable. Other school officials didn't get back to us. Durham School Services personnel locally wouldn't talk about their safety record. They referred 9 Investigates to the corporate office in Illinois. It provided a statement that simply said the company was, quote, devastated by the incident in Tennessee. Reporting live in studio, Bria Bell, KCAU 9 News.
All right, Bria, thanks for that update. Meanwhile, that fatal Tennessee crash is renewing the call for seat belts to be installed in all school buses nationwide. Currently, only 6 states require that. Here in Iowa, the Des Moines Public School District is the first school to use a bus with a lap shoulder belt, like you would find inside a car, but it's just part of a study. One bus is being used for 12 different schools. So far, most students say they find the belts comfortable and they feel like they have more space when they have to share a seat.
Some Northeast Nebraska high school students were among 7 injured in a crash involving several vehicles outside of Norfolk last night. The students from Twin River High School were returning home from a one-act play competition when their school vehicle, which was pulling a trailer, collided with 2 other vehicles. That crash happened at the intersection of Highways 275 and 24. Of the 7 hurt, a Stanton man suffered critical injuries and had to be flown to a Sioux City hospital for treatment.
A judge is now determining if a Sioux City man is guilty of first-degree murder and the stabbing death of his girlfriend. Testimony has concluded in the bench trial of Isaac Abdiner. He's accused of stabbing Cornelia Steed to death in June of 2015 at her Sioux City apartment. The defense says that Abdiner suffers from schizophrenia and can't be held responsible. Lawyers have until December 9th to submit written closing arguments in that case. Judge Stephen Andreessen will then have 60 days to return his verdict. Abdiner faces life in prison if convicted.
South Dakota's legal system is undergoing a transition with voters' passage of Marcy's Law during the recent election. The law establishes a crime victims' bill of rights. Marcy's cards will be distributed to victims. They outline these new rights. It includes the right to be informed of court dates, parole dates, release dates, court documents, and the right to be present and provide a victim impact statement at sentencing. But Union County State's Attorney Jerry Miller says this poorly written law also redefines who constitutes as a victim for notification purposes, and that could be a problem. The victims are granted rights through what's called a Marcy's card, which includes the right to be informed of those court dates, parole dates, release dates, and court documents.
Any case that I currently have in my warrant drawer, even though that case may have been 10 years old and we haven't caught that individual yet, the victim in that case would also be offered and have to be made aware of their Marcy's constitutional rights.
Among the problems cited by Miller include finding the money to pay for victims' rights advocates, the cost of distributing those Marcy's Law cards, letting victims know what their rights are and how to pursue them, and the cost of updating their system, an online service that provides crime victims with notifications for hearing and court proceedings.
If you're traveling to visit friends and family for Thanksgiving, you won't be alone. AAA says this week will be the busiest travel week in 9 years. Holiday or not, officials at Sioux Gateway Airport say passenger boardings are up 35% from just a year ago. The addition of daily flights to Dallas-Fort Worth is mostly responsible. Flight crews say that since American Airlines added flights back in May, planes have nearly been full every day. That's something all but guaranteed over the holiday.
Dallas-Fort Worth was really busy. The airport was just packed.
I kind of beat the gun a little bit because I have a little vision problem, so I get a wheelchair. You get a wheelchair, man, you take it right where you want to go, and that's the tricks of the trade.
American Airlines offers service from Sioux City to both Dallas-Fort Worth and Chicago.
If you haven't gotten your turkey yet, well, the clock's ticking. Thanksgiving is just 2 days away. And as you fill your cart with turkey stuffing and all the trimmings, here are a few healthy tips to keep in mind. Well, first, thaw your turkey slowly in the refrigerator. That will make sure it's good to go when you're ready to cook it. When you are cooking, use a thermometer and put that in the thickest part of the bird to make sure it's fully cooked to 165 degrees. Nutritionists say the normal serving size for turkey is 4 ounces a person.
You just want to make sure that you remove the skin and the extra fat, but turkey is a lean source of protein, which makes it a healthier option than other meats.
Mashed potatoes can be unhealthy, so here's a secret fix for more fiber. Add creamed cauliflower to the mashed potatoes. You can also use wheat alternatives for stuffing to make that a bit healthier, and throw in a lot of chopped veggies. Those are always good, of course.
You know what the thickest part of the turkey is that you use the thermometer is the thigh. You didn't know that.
I didn't know that. You cooked a turkey before.
Thigh. Well, I tried.
Not. Fred, of course, we're all wondering how the weather's going to shape up. A lot of people hitting the road tomorrow and Thursday.
Right, and I've got some answers for you here. Let's look here at our satellite and radar. That gives us you an idea of what we're looking at. First of all, there's the rain and even some snow around Siouxland, but what I want to show you is the next weather system that's just coming on shore to the northwestern U.S. This is the system that may or may not bring us a chance of mixed precipitation on Thursday. So, more on that in just a second. Here's what to expect for tomorrow. We'll see cloudy skies but dry weather. No more rain and a high of 41. For Thanksgiving Day, cloudy skies remain. The high will be 44. And as you get ready to enjoy some turkey, I think most of Siouxland will stay dry, but we do have that chance of a light rain-snow mix late in the day. We're talking late afternoon and evening. The best chance would be north of U.S. Highway 18 in Iowa and South Dakota. That's the best chance, but some computer models stubbornly want to bring that wintry mix south, even towards Sioux City. So if you have travel plans on Thanksgiving Day, I would highly recommend you stay tuned to the latest forecast. Of course, tomorrow we'll have a brand new batch of computer models, and we can give you the latest on that chance.
A lot of folks out and about for sure, visiting grandparents or family.
Right.
Alrighty.
Stay close.
Thanks, Fred. Still to come tonight, holiday lights sparkled in the downtown. We'll take a look at those and when you can visit Santa in Sioux City.
And tonight's Ask Fred question is, what is the most snow we have ever seen on Thanksgiving? I'll have the answer for you and a look at whether we will see snow this Thanksgiving here. Stay with us.
You're watching ABC 9 News at 10 with Tim Seaman, Jenna Renstrom, Chief Meteorologist Fred Hexam, and Sports Director Chris Palmquist. This is ABC 9 News at 10.